Well, Michael Langham could see a barn door by moonlight. He recognized that one of the major influences in Canada was Quebec. And he looked for a play where he could use up this wonderful French talent, French-speaking talent. And he picked on Henry V.
The French Canadians arriving at Stratford, first of all, it was a brilliant stroke, I thought. A wonderful way to make Henry V really relevant to Canadian audiences. Typical of Langham, was got a genius for finding the heart, or the controversial heart of a play, it seemed to me. So the idea of inviting these distinguished French-Canadian actors down to the company was quite something.
There was a whole group of them that came, and they didn't speak any English at all, or very, very little, just enough to communicate. But my goodness, it added a colour to they learned to speak the English by rote, you know, in the play. But they played in such an entirely different style that the French and English camps were entirely different. It was quite a splendid idea and worked very well indeed.
And we brought the famous actors from Montreal, Jean-Louis Roux, Jean Gascon, Gabrielle Gascon, some of the ladies.
It brought a great deal of enthusiasm because it was different. We were performing under a tent, so in very peculiar conditions, not always agreeable, because when we started rehearsing, it was during the month of March or April, I think, and we were actually freezing.
I've never had so much fun, and that whole company responded to them, and they brought such a style onto the stage with them. It was another life. And that it made that play work. My God, I mean, if Shakespeare had seen this, I think he would have loved it, because it really was another world.
But what was remarkable was the difference in their technique. They came out of the French tradition. The voice was of supreme importance, so you had that wonderful ability that the French actor has to give a lyrical base to the text itself, and at the same time keeping the sense of it.
Gratien Gélina playing who was famous for his Chicoc character in Quebec and all over this country, actually. He was really the Fernandel of Canada. He playing the King of France, a sort of frail little man dying in his throne and suddenly arousing in that wonderful speech where he rouses all the first families of France together to fight Harry of England. And he says, "You dukes of Brabant, Orléans, Bar, Boussicot, Charleroi," and he lists this wonderful, and as this dying little man, as he goes through this long list of these great old names, stands up and he becomes 10 feet tall. And that was an exciting moment.
A wonderful comedian, Guy Hoffman, was one of the great Molière clowns, playing a small comic part in Henry V, and it became kind of a star showcase. In the middle of Henry V was this scene with this little nervous Frenchman.
And then Gascon striding about the stage like some sort of great orc, as the Constable of France, and very superior and very disdainful of the peasant English. Wonderful summer.
I think they put the English-speaking actors on their mettle. You know, they had to kind of try to rise to the level of these very powerful French actors who would sweep on the stage with an enormous sense of style and élan, and so you couldn't kind of stumble and mumble.
We were inspired, in fact, by the difficulty of what we were doing, and when we succeeded in finally performing in an English production of a Shakespearean play, I think we were very proud of being able to do that. And actually, we were improving the fact that no English-speaking Canadian actor could do the reverse.